Good morning. Yeah, Sunday morning. Yeah, up early this morning. Already done a couple bowls, finished them off, signed them off. I'm going to work on my threads for my lidded bowl. Or lidded bowl. Lidded box. So, this is what it looks like here. Got the threads. Alright. Got the lid, the internal threads. Okay, external threads are male, internal threads are female. Right? So what we do is first thing we have to do is make a cylinder. Have to make a cylinder, and then we separate it into two halves. Then we create the inside threads first, then we use the inside threads to actually set up for the outside threads. So without hanging around anymore, I'm going to make the cylinder for the box. Got a new stamp for Christmas. So, well, it's not really new. It's almost 6 months old, but anyway, been starting to use it. Going to be using a 5/8 bowl gouge to round it. What I did is I took some maple and maple boards and I glued them together and cut them around in the bandsaw, and now I'm going to round the cylinder. Whenever you're going from side grain to end grain, you want to use a bowl gouge. It's a lot stronger than a spindle gouge. Two of them right here. Okay, so the spindle gouge is basically a pipe, so it's thin. It's a lot thinner. The bowl gouge is made from round bar. Round bar is thicker, and both of them are hardened steel. But the bowl gouge is designed to take the punishment of going from side grain to end grain. Alright, now I've sharpened them up. I'm about 55 degrees on my chamfer for my bowl gauge. I'm spinning about 2,000 RPM, well, 1,700 to 2,000 RPM, which is pretty fast. So here we go, let's round her out. Now if it wasn't round, the bowl gouge would be bouncing because it's going from flat to round, and it doesn't like that. Or it's if it was out of shape, oblong instead of circular, it would bounce the chisel as well. But as you can see, there's no bouncing, so that tells me right there that it's nice and round. I'm just going to try to true it up a little bit. So this is a nice cylinder. Alright, so I got my circular. Now I'm going to choose a distance. It doesn't have to be measured. You can measure it if you want. If you want to be accurate, that's fine. I have a new parting tool. A lot thinner than my other one. My other one was at least 1/4 of an inch or even more, and it was taking a lot of material off. All right, we'll be back in a minute. All right, so got the parting done there. I'm just going to use my little pole saw to finish it off. Okay, one thing I want to mention is I put a tenon on with the chamfer that fits my chuck. So I'm going to use those to hold it until I get things done, or the inside done. This will hold it in the chuck. There's another one on the other end as well. So now this is cut. Alright, so I use the parting tool down to a certain diameter. It's nothing that I measure, it's just something I feel good about. And then I just use my pole saw to finish it off. And it snaps off really easy. It's a lot better, I feel it is anyway, than using the parting tool and trying to catch the piece, the whole deal. You'll see it in other videos that people do that. They've been doing it a lot longer than I have, so they're probably a lot better at it. But right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take, this is going to be the top. Top's a little narrow, a little smaller than the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hollow this out. I'm going to put my threads on the inside, the female threads, and then we'll proceed to use that size to set up the threads for the male threads. I'll be back. All right, so here we are. We're going to surface this, and then we're going to choose the diameter we want the top to be inside, and which is just an arbitrary, whatever I feel I like. All right, so RPM is still at about 2,000. The diameter of your stock determines your speed. All right, so there's a calculation, you can probably look it up. So let's flatten this out and start gouging the inside. When you get to the middle, you want to rotate your gouge slightly counterclockwise and bring the tip down, and then your bevel you want to keep as flat as you can, because when you finish off, see, I was a little high, I got a little bit of a dimple on it. But I'm just starting, so I'm okay. Going to get a little closer to our work. That's a little high, gotta drop her down a little bit. I always shut off the lathe when I have to move this, because I really don't want to have an incident. Okay, so I'm going to use my scraper. Now we want to keep this side parallel with this side when we cut. So I just usually use my chisel and say, okay, so I'm a little narrow on the inside, so I've got to take a little bit more off. Went a little bit too far. See what we got now. It's close enough. All right, so recess tool. Okay, this recess tool provides a relief behind the threads and gives you time to pull the threader off so it doesn't rip the threads out. Now normally we run at about 300 RPM. This lathe will only go to about 700, so I'm really fast on this. If you don't have some experience with it, don't try it at 700. This is a Busy Bee lathe. It's the same as the CX803 that they sell now, but it's actually a B2338. It's identical to the 803. Speed, controls, the whole deal. If you need parts for this one here, I just buy parts from the 803. So, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention is if we're going to use the recess tool, we want to bring it up a little bit because of the roundness. The roundness here, we want to catch it when it's coming down because there's a little angle on the blade that allows us to get in there and dig in and cut. So if the chamfer on the blade matches the roll of the box, it's not going to bite in and cut. So we got to make sure it's at least cutting in. So I still got to come up a little bit. And like I say, it's all about practice. Okay, we're ready to cut the chamfer. The other thing is I made this from an old chisel. You can buy them. They come in a set. These chisels alone are $65. I had this old set here and I'd never used this chisel ever, so I decided I would make one. It took me maybe 15 minutes to make this on the grinder. Alright, so now we have our chamfer on the inside. We're going to use the female. We're going to turn our speed as low as we possibly can on this one. They say the ideal RPM is between 150 and 300. No, hold it. 150 and 500. The best is around 300 if you can get used to it. All right, so the other thing we got to make sure is we got to put a slight round on the start of the threads. If we have a shoulder, what happens is the cutter doesn't want to move; it just wants to sit in that one spot. So we don't want to do that. So we're just going to take the scraper and we're just going to do a slight. We're going to get rid of that shoulder. All right. So I don't have anything really that's going to catch. I believe I'm ready to go. Let's give her a shot. Okay, so you want to start at about 45 degrees and keep your cutter level. Okay, so now I've got a few threads there and it's starting to guide it. I'm going to start swinging around. Like I say, this is pretty fast. Okay, still got to go a little deeper. Now you use the lands of your lathe and just eye it on the back side of your chisel, and it'll just allow it to stay square with the lands of your lathe. I think we're pretty good there. Give you an idea so you can see. The threads should sit right to the base of the cutter. Okay. And mine are, so I think I'm pretty good there. So now the next step, if I can find it. Okay, so these calipers here, we're going to set to the bottom of the thread if we can, as close as we can. All right. So we're going to tighten those up so we don't lose that measurement. All right, as close as we can. So now what we got to do is we got to transfer that mark onto this. So what we do is we mark with the left and we just use the right point as a guide. That's pretty close. Now we're going to use that to set up a spigot that's going to allow us to use it as a gauge for the threads. I'm going to use this. I'm going to go down to that line. Then we use the lid and see if it'll go over top of it. It's a little bit too loose, so I'm going to cut another one. I'm going to leave a little bit of space on it. Okay. Make it a little bigger collar so I can try my... Okay, so it's just a little bit bigger. See? So we're gonna try this. I gotta take it. That's how small of a difference it is. All right, so I'm gonna take the first one off, so it's out of the way. All right, out of the way, that's enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're gonna say that's good. So now what we do is we take it down and leave enough material above that collar for the threads. So the threads they're might be like a, I don't know, 1/16 deep. So not even. So we gotta leave that much material. Okay, so that's enough material for the threads. Now what I got to do is I got to provide a relief at the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down. So it matches in. Then I'll use my parting tool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it in there a little bit. Same idea as the inside. I'm going to leave a relief so I can get my threads off of the cutter, so I can so I don't have a problem. Now I still have to provide my chamfer. Okay. Now we get the nail. Okay. Start at 45. Oh, I'm gonna turn that way down. Yeah, cut threads at it's kind of hard to cut the threads at 2,000 RPM. You want to get a nice path, so this starts the threads in the main body of the threads. So now I've got that. I'm going to move it around. Oh. Don't push too hard. Now, the reason I left that little spigot there so I could see a track where the threads were touching it. Ooh, almost there. So I gotta take her a little bit more. Okay, I think we need some wax on it. Beeswax. Turn her on. Alright. That stiffens up the threads a little bit, and it also allows the cutter to slide better. See what we got here now. We're getting really close. This is where you either make it or break it, they say. Got to put a chamfer on the threads. A little chamfer like that helps it go to match into the threads. Acts like a guide, actually. Oh, almost. Oh, a little bit more. Might not look like you're taking a lot off, but when you're dealing with threads, a little is a lot. You basically got to sneak up on them. That's what I'm doing right now. A bit of wax. All right, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll show you. We're almost there anyway. Oh, don't take much more. Like I say, a little bit might look like a little bit, but you lose your threads pretty fast. Gotta still make my release cut. I'm losing it, so I don't want to end up stripping my threads out. Oh, she's starting. Practice, practice, practice. All right. And there we have it. Set of threads. Turned out well. I got lucky with this because the grain of the wood is all over the place anyway, so I didn't have to match it in. But if you're trying to match it in, what you do is if the grain doesn't match, you take a little bit off of either this surface or this surface. Now if you look at the distance of a thread, one thread is 1 diameter, or 1 revolution. So if you only need a quarter of a revolution, you only take off a quarter of a thread, all right, or as a distance around. That's pretty touchy work. So like I say, it's all about practice. If you practice, you'll get it. All right, thanks for watching, guys.